Imagine stepping into a world where the ocean stretches farther than the eye can see, where every shade of blue seems more vivid than reality, and where hidden islands wait quietly, untouched by time. This is the Maldives, a paradise of crystal clear lagoons, soft white sands, and sunsets that feel like they were painted just for you. Today, we're not just visiting the resorts or beaches you've seen before. We're uncovering the hidden gems, secret islands, and breathtaking moments that make the Maldives a true wonder of the world. Stay with us, because what you're about to see isn't just travel, it's an experience that will leave you speechless. What if there's a place on Earth where reality feels softer, where the colors look almost unreal, and where the world slows down just enough for you to truly feel every moment? A place where the ocean stretches in endless shades of blue, where islands float like scattered jewels, and where the line between sky and sea simply disappears. This is the Maldives, and from the very first glance, it doesn't just capture your attention, it captures something deeper. As your journey begins high above the Indian Ocean, the first glimpse of the Maldives is nothing short of surreal. From the window, you don't see land in the way you expect. Instead, you see patterns, circles and shapes of vibrant turquoise, surrounded by deeper shades of blue. Coral atolls rise gently beneath the surface, forming natural rings that hold lagoons so clear they seem almost transparent. It doesn't feel real. It feels like a dream unfolding beneath you. As the plane descends, those distant shapes grow clearer. You begin to notice the fine edges of white sand outlining each island, like soft brushstrokes against the ocean. Small clusters of palm trees stand tall, swaying gently, their green contrasting perfectly against the blue and white around them. And then, you land. The air feels different the moment you step outside. Warm, soft, carrying the faint scent of salt and sea. There's a calmness here, something immediate and unmistakable. No rush, no noise, just a quiet invitation to slow down. The journey continues over water. A speedboat cuts smoothly across the ocean, or perhaps a seaplane lifts you once more into the sky, gliding just above the surface. From here, the Maldives reveals its true scale. Hundreds of islands, each one unique, scattered across the horizon like fragments of paradise. The water below shifts constantly. Shallow areas glow in bright turquoise, almost luminous under the sun. Deeper sections turn into rich, endless blue. Coral reefs create patterns beneath the surface, visible even from above, adding texture to the vastness of the ocean. There's a sense of openness here. Nothing feels crowded. Nothing feels confined. As you approach your island, it appears slowly, almost gently. A small stretch of white sand emerges from the sea, surrounded by calm, clear water. Palm trees line the shore, their shadows stretching across the sand. And just beyond, overwater villas stand gracefully above the lagoon, connected by wooden walkways that seem to float. Stepping onto the island feels like crossing into another world. The sand beneath your feet is soft, almost weightless. It doesn't feel like ordinary sand. It's finer, cooler, shaped by the ocean over time. Each step sinks slightly, leaving behind a trace that disappears with the next breeze. The soundscape is simple. Waves moving gently against the shore, leaves rustling in the wind, the distant call of seabirds. No traffic, no noise, just the natural rhythm of the island. Walking along the shoreline, the water draws you in. It's impossibly clear. Standing at the edge, you can see straight to the bottom, even as the water deepens. Small fish move through the shallows, their colors flashing briefly in the sunlight. The temperature is perfect, neither too warm nor too cool, inviting you to step in without hesitation. And when you do, everything else fades. The world feels lighter here. Floating in the lagoon, surrounded by nothing but water and sky, there's a sense of freedom that's hard to describe. No boundaries, no distractions, just space, and the quiet presence of nature all around you. As the day unfolds, the island reveals more of itself. Paths wind through clusters of palm trees, leading to hidden corners and quiet spots where the view opens suddenly to the sea. Hammocks sway gently between trees. Wooden decks extend out over the water, offering places to sit, to pause, to simply take it all in. Time begins to change. It slows, stretches, becomes less defined. Moments feel longer, more present. You notice things you might otherwise miss. The way sunlight dances across the surface of the water, creating shifting patterns that never stay the same. The subtle changes in color as clouds move across the sky. The feeling of the breeze, constant yet gentle, carrying with it a sense of calm. As the sun begins its slow descent, the entire island transforms. The bright blues soften into warmer tones. The sky takes on shades of gold and orange, reflecting perfectly across the still lagoon. The water becomes a mirror, doubling the beauty of the moment. Everything feels quieter now, more intimate. Standing at the edge of the shore, watching the horizon, there's a realization that settles in. This place is not just about what you see, it's about what you feel. The stillness, the clarity, the sense of being completely present in a moment that doesn't need anything more. And as the light fades and the first hints of evening begin to appear, one thought becomes clear. This is only the beginning, because the Maldives is not just a destination made of islands and water. It's an experience that unfolds slowly, revealing something new with every moment. Something deeper, something unforgettable, something that stays with you long after you've left its shores. What if the idea of luxury wasn't about excess, but about waking up to nothing but the ocean, stepping out into endless blue, and feeling like the entire world has slowed down just for you? In the Maldives, this isn't imagination, it's everyday life. And at the heart of it all lies one of the most iconic experiences on Earth: living in an overwater villa. The moment you first see them, they feel almost unreal. Stretching out across the lagoon, these villas stand lightly above the water, connected by long wooden walkways that seem to float. From a distance, they look simple, almost minimal. But as you walk closer, each step reveals more detail, more intention, more quiet perfection. The ocean surrounds everything, not beside you, not in front of you, but everywhere. Stepping inside, the space opens up with a calm elegance. Soft tones, natural materials, white glass panels that blur the boundary between indoors and outdoors. Light pours in from every angle, reflecting off the water and filling the room with a soft, shifting glow. But it's what lies beneath that truly changes the experience. A section of the floor, made entirely of glass, reveals the ocean below. Fish move quietly through the water, their colors flashing for a second before disappearing into the blue. It's subtle, almost surreal, like having a living, breathing world beneath your feet. And then there's the deck. Sliding open the doors, you step outside, and suddenly there are no walls, no barriers, just open sky and endless sea. A private infinity pool blends seamlessly with the horizon, its edge disappearing into the lagoon beyond. Lounge chairs face outward, positioned perfectly for moments that don't need words. The stairs lead directly into the water. No beach, no distance, just a few steps, and you're in. The first touch of the ocean is unforgettable. Warm, clear, impossibly soft. You can see every movement beneath you, every ripple, every reflection of sunlight dancing across the sand below. There's a sense of connection here that feels immediate and real. You're not near the ocean, you're part of it. Morning in an overwater villa feels different from anywhere else in the world. The sun rises gently, its light filtering through sheer curtains, casting soft patterns across the room. The sound of the water is constant, calm, almost rhythmic. There's no sudden noise, no interruption, just a natural awakening, guided by light and sound. Stepping onto the deck in the early hours, the lagoon is perfectly still. The surface reflects the sky like glass, broken only by the occasional movement of fish below. The air is fresh, carrying the quiet promise of a new day. It's the kind of moment that doesn't need anything added to it. It's already complete. As the day unfolds, the villa becomes more than just a place to stay. It becomes a space to experience. Breakfast arrives gently, placed on the deck where the view stretches endlessly ahead. Fresh fruits, warm pastries, coffee that steams softly in the morning light. Every detail feels intentional, designed not to impress, but to enhance the moment. Time moves differently here. Hours pass, but they don't feel rushed. There's no schedule pulling you forward. No need to move quickly. You drift between the water, the deck, the quiet comfort of the villa itself. Afternoon light brings a different energy. The sun sits higher, casting sharper reflections across the lagoon. The water shifts into brighter shades of blue, almost glowing under the intensity of the light. Shadows beneath the villa become clearer, revealing the movement of marine life below. You begin to notice patterns, the way fish gather in certain areas, the gentle current moving through the lagoon, the way the water changes color depending on depth and light. It's a world that's always moving, always changing, even in its calmness. And yet, everything feels still, private, untouched. As evening approaches, the villa transforms once again. The harsh light softens, turning golden, then slowly deepening into shades of orange and pink. The sky stretches wide, uninterrupted, creating a perfect canvas that reflects across the water. From your deck, the view feels infinite. The horizon disappears into color, and for a moment, there's no separation between sky and sea. Everything blends into one continuous, breathtaking scene. It's quiet, completely, beautifully quiet. As the sun sets, the world slows even further. Lights begin to glow softly inside the villa, creating a warm contrast against the deepening blue outside. The ocean, now darker, still carries the last reflections of light, shimmering gently beneath you. Night in an overwater villa is something else entirely. The sky fills with stars, clear and bright without the interference of city lights. The sound of the water becomes more pronounced, a steady, calming presence that surrounds you completely. Looking down, sometimes you catch glimpses of movement beneath the surface. Small flashes of light, subtle and mysterious, hinting at the life that continues even in darkness. And in that moment, you realize something. This experience isn't just about luxury. It's about perspective, about stepping away from everything familiar and finding yourself in a place where simplicity becomes extraordinary, where the ocean becomes your view, your sound, your connection to something larger. Because in the Maldives, an overwater villa is not just a place to stay, it's a place to feel, to slow down, to exist in a moment that feels almost unreal, yet completely unforgettable. What if the purest form of paradise isn't something built, but something shaped by nature itself? A place where the sand feels softer than anything you've ever touched, where the water is so clear it almost disappears, and where the horizon stretches so far it feels infinite. In the Maldives, the beaches and lagoons are not just beautiful, they redefine what beauty actually means. As the morning light begins to rise, the shoreline slowly reveals itself. The first rays of sun touch the surface of the water, and instantly, the entire lagoon comes alive with color. Shades of turquoise, aqua, and soft blue blend together seamlessly, creating a scene that feels almost too perfect to be real. The sand beneath your feet is unlike anywhere else. It's not just white, it's bright, almost glowing under the sunlight. Made from finely crushed coral, it feels soft and cool, even as the day warms. Each step leaves a gentle imprint, but the breeze and shifting grains quickly erase it, as if the island is constantly renewing itself. Walking along the edge of the water, the line between land and sea feels almost invisible. The lagoon stretches outward in a shallow, endless expanse, its surface calm and inviting. You step in slowly, and the transition is seamless. There's no sudden drop, no shock of temperature, just a gradual immersion into water that feels as soft as the sand beneath it. And what makes it even more extraordinary is its clarity. Looking down, every detail is visible. The gentle ripples across the sandy bottom, the small shells scattered along the floor, the movement of tiny fish weaving through the shallows. It feels less like water and more like air you can move through. The silence here is different. It's not empty, it's full of subtle sounds. The soft rhythm of waves meeting the shore, the distant rustle of palm leaves swaying in the breeze, the quiet, almost unnoticeable movement of life beneath the surface. Time begins to slow. You walk further, the shoreline stretching endlessly in both directions. There are no crowds, no noise, no interruptions, just space. Open, uninterrupted space that allows you to breathe, to think, to simply exist in the moment. And then, there are the sandbanks, small, temporary islands that appear in the middle of the ocean, formed by shifting currents and tides. Standing on one feels surreal, a narrow stretch of white sand, surrounded completely by water, with nothing else in sight. No trees, no buildings, just you and the horizon. It's a feeling of isolation, but not loneliness, a sense of being removed from everything unnecessary, leaving only what truly matters. The sky above feels wider here. The ocean feels deeper, more present. As the day moves forward, the light changes, and with it, the lagoon transforms. Midday brings intensity. The colors become brighter, more vibrant. The turquoise water glows under the sun, almost luminous, while the deeper sections shift into rich, endless blue. The contrast is striking, creating patterns across the ocean that are constantly changing. You begin to notice how alive the water is. Small fish dart through the shallows, their movements quick and fluid. Gentle ripples form as the breeze moves across the surface. Occasionally, a shadow passes beneath, hinting at something larger, deeper within the lagoon. And yet, everything remains calm, peaceful. As afternoon slowly turns to evening, the energy shifts once again. The sun lowers, and the harsh brightness softens into warm, golden light. The sand takes on a gentle glow, reflecting shades of amber and soft orange. The water mirrors the sky, creating a seamless blend of color that stretches to the horizon. Walking along the beach now feels different, more intimate. The air cools slightly, the breeze becomes softer, and the entire island seems to slow down even further. It's a moment that invites stillness, reflection, a quiet appreciation of everything around you. You pause, looking out across the lagoon. And in that stillness, something becomes clear. The beauty of the Maldives isn't just in its perfection, it's in its simplicity. Nothing here is forced. Nothing feels artificial. Every element, from the sand to the sea to the sky, exists in perfect balance, creating an experience that feels effortless, yet unforgettable. As the last light of the day begins to fade, the lagoon holds onto its colors just a little longer. Soft blues and fading golds blend together, creating a final moment of calm before night takes over. And as you stand there, surrounded by nothing but natural beauty, one thought settles in. This is what true escape feels like. Not just leaving a place behind, but entering a world where everything slows down, clears away, and leaves you with something rare: peace. And in the Maldives, it's found right here, where the sand meets the sea. What if the most extraordinary part of the Maldives isn't what you see above the surface, but what exists just beneath it? A hidden world, alive with color, movement, and mystery, waiting quietly below the calm, crystal-clear waters. It's a world that doesn't demand attention, but once discovered, it changes everything you thought you knew about the ocean. From above, the lagoon looks peaceful, almost still. But beneath that surface lies an entirely different reality. The moment you step into the water with a mask and snorkel, everything shifts. The sounds of the outside world fade instantly, replaced by a soft, muted silence. Your breathing becomes steady, rhythmic, and the water wraps around you in a way that feels weightless. You lower your face beneath the surface, and suddenly, a new world appears. Color, movement, life in every direction. Coral reefs stretch across the ocean floor like underwater cities. Shapes and textures form intricate patterns, each one home to something living. Some corals branch outward like trees, others spread like soft carpets, gently swaying with the current. And then, the fish. Small at first, darting in and out of the coral. Flashes of blue, yellow, and silver. But the longer you look, the more you see. Schools of fish move together in perfect synchronization, shifting direction in an instant, creating waves of motion that ripple through the water. It's not chaotic, it's perfectly balanced. Floating above it all, you feel like an observer in a world that exists independently, untouched and uninterrupted. Further out, the reef begins to deepen. The colors shift slightly, becoming richer, more intense as the light filters down from above. Shadows form along the edges, adding depth and a sense of mystery. This is where the experience becomes even more powerful. A gentle movement catches your attention. A sea turtle glides effortlessly through the water, its motion slow, deliberate, almost graceful. It doesn't rush, it doesn't react. It simply moves, as if completely at ease in its environment. Watching it, you feel a sense of calm, a reminder of how different life can be when it's not rushed. And then, something larger. In the distance, a shape appears, smooth and steady. A manta ray. It moves like nothing else, its wide wings flowing through the water as if it's flying. There's no urgency in its motion, only a quiet strength. As it passes, the water around it seems to shift, responding to its presence. It's a moment that feels rare, almost unreal. Diving deeper into this world reveals even more. The reef becomes more complex, more detailed. Colors intensify. Small creatures, hidden at first glance, begin to reveal themselves. A tiny fish peeking out from coral. a sudden flash of movement disappearing just as quickly as it appeared. Every second brings something new, and yet, the silence remains. It's not empty silence. It's peaceful, grounding, the kind of quiet that allows you to focus, to truly see what's in front of you without distraction. Time feels different here, slower, more fluid. You're no longer thinking about anything else. No plans, no distractions, just the moment, unfolding beneath the surface. As you rise back toward the light, the world above begins to return. The brightness increases, the colors soften, and the surface breaks gently around you. You lift your head, take a breath, and suddenly, the sky is back. But something has changed, because once you've seen what lies beneath, the ocean is no longer just something you look at. It's something you understand. As the day continues, the underwater world remains just below the surface, always present, always alive. Even from above, you begin to notice the subtle movements, the shifting colors that hint at what's happening below. And as the sun begins to set, the water takes on a different tone, darker, deeper, more mysterious. The reef slowly quiets, its activity changing with the fading light. Some creatures retreat, others begin to emerge. The cycle continues, unseen by most, but always happening. Standing at the edge of the shore, looking out across the vast ocean, there's a new sense of respect, because the Maldives is not just about what you can see, it's about what exists beyond the surface. A world of life, color, and quiet wonder that continues endlessly, hidden just beneath the calm. And once you've experienced it, you realize that the true beauty of this place isn't only above the water. It's within it, alive, moving, and waiting to be discovered. What if true luxury wasn't about how much you have, but about how deeply you can feel a moment? In the Maldives, luxury is not loud, not overwhelming, not designed to impress from a distance. It's quiet, intentional, and personal. It's found in the smallest details, the kind you don't notice at first, but remember long after you leave. From the moment you arrive at a Maldivian resort, everything begins to slow down. There's no rush, no chaos, just a calm, seamless transition into a world where every element has been carefully designed around comfort, privacy, and experience. A warm welcome, a cool breeze, and the soft sound of the ocean in the background. It doesn't feel like checking in. It feels like entering a different state of mind. Your villa is prepared, not just cleaned or arranged, but curated. Every detail has a purpose. The way the light falls across the room, the gentle scent in the air, the placement of furniture that invites you to relax without thinking about it. It's subtle, but it creates a feeling that everything is exactly where it should be. And then, there's the space itself. Private, open, uninterrupted. Whether set above the water or hidden along the beach, each villa offers a sense of isolation that feels rare in the modern world. No noise from neighbors, no distractions, just your own corner of paradise, shaped entirely around your presence. Step outside, and the experience expands. Infinity pools stretch toward the horizon, their edges blending seamlessly with the ocean beyond. The water reflects the sky, creating a sense of endlessness that feels almost surreal. You slip into the pool, and for a moment, it's impossible to tell where it ends and the ocean begins. It's not just about design, it's about feeling. The kind of feeling that comes when everything around you aligns perfectly, without effort. Dining in the Maldives is not just a meal, it's an experience crafted with intention. Imagine sitting at a table set directly on the sand, the ocean just a few steps away. The sound of gentle waves becomes the background music, steady and calming. Soft lights flicker around you as the sky transitions into deep shades of blue. Each dish arrives, carefully prepared, but never rushed. Fresh seafood, flavors inspired by both local traditions and global influences, presented with a simplicity that lets the ingredients speak for themselves. It's not about excess. It's about quality, balance, and the quiet pleasure of taste. And sometimes, the setting becomes even more extraordinary. An underwater restaurant, surrounded by glass walls, where the ocean becomes part of the experience. Fish glide past as you dine, their movements slow and effortless. The light filters through the water above, casting shifting patterns across the space. It's surreal, a reminder that in the Maldives, even the most familiar experiences can become something entirely new. Beyond dining and relaxation, There's a deeper layer to luxury here. The sense of being cared for without noticing it. Staff move quietly, attentively, anticipating needs before they are spoken. There's no intrusion, no interruption. Just a presence that ensures everything flows smoothly, allowing you to focus entirely on the moment. Spa experiences take this even further. Set above the water, treatment rooms open to the ocean breeze, the sound of waves becoming part of the therapy itself. Gentle movements, natural oils, and calming scents create an atmosphere that feels almost meditative. It's not just relaxation, it's restoration, a chance to reset, both physically and mentally, in an environment designed to support it completely. As the day unfolds, luxury reveals itself in unexpected ways. A quiet afternoon on your deck, with nothing but the horizon in front of you. A spontaneous swim as the sun warms the water. A moment of stillness where time seems to pause, even if only for a second. These are the experiences that stay with you. Not the grand gestures, but the simple ones, made extraordinary by their setting. As evening approaches, the atmosphere shifts once again. The light softens, the air cools, and the entire resort takes on a more intimate tone. Paths are softly illuminated, guiding you without overwhelming the natural surroundings. The ocean reflects the fading colors of the sky, creating a scene that feels almost cinematic. Dinner becomes quieter, more personal. Conversations slow, movements soften. Everything begins to align with the rhythm of the island. And then, night settles in. The sky fills with stars, clear and bright, untouched by city lights. The ocean becomes a dark, endless presence, its gentle sound continuing without pause. From your villa, you look out into the distance, and for a moment, it feels like the rest of the world no longer exists. And maybe, for now, it doesn't. Because in the Maldives, luxury is not about escaping reality, it's about redefining it. About discovering that true comfort comes not from what surrounds you, but from how those surroundings make you feel. Calm, present, connected, and in this place, where every detail is shaped with care and intention, that feeling becomes something more than temporary. It becomes unforgettable. What if the true soul of the Maldives isn't found in its luxury resorts, but in the quiet rhythm of its local islands, where life moves gently, traditions remain strong, and every day is shaped by the ocean? Beyond the polished perfection of private villas lies a different world, one that feels more grounded, more human, and deeply connected to culture and community. As the boat approaches a local island, the first thing you notice is how different it feels. There are no long wooden jetties stretching into the sea, no overwater villas lining the horizon. Instead, you see colorful houses, small boats resting along the shore, and narrow sandy paths weaving through the island. It's simpler, more intimate, and instantly more real. Stepping onto the island, the pace shifts. There's no rush here, no urgency. People move
calmly, greeting each other with familiar smiles. The air carries the sound of conversation, distant laughter, and the soft hum of daily life. It's not silent like the resorts. It's alive in a different way. The houses reflect the character of the island. Painted in soft blues, greens, and warm tones, they stand close together, shaded by palm trees that sway gently above. Doors remain open, welcoming the breeze, and often you'll see families gathered outside, sharing moments that feel unplanned and genuine. Life here is shaped by the ocean. Fishermen prepare their boats early in the morning, their movements practiced and efficient. The sea is not just a view, it's a livelihood, a source of sustenance that has supported generations. Nets are repaired, boats are cleaned, and everything follows a rhythm that has remained unchanged for years. Walking through the island, you begin to notice the details. Small shops offering local goods, handmade crafts, and everyday essentials. Children playing in open spaces, their laughter echoing through the streets. Elderly residents sitting together, sharing stories, watching the day unfold at its own pace. There's a sense of connection here, not just between people, but between the past and the present. Tradition holds a strong place in Maldivian culture. From the food prepared in local kitchens to the music played during gatherings, every element carries meaning. It's not performed for visitors. It's lived, naturally and consistently. Food,
in particular, tells a story. Simple, fresh, and deeply rooted in local ingredients. Rice, fish, coconut, and spices come together in dishes that are both flavorful and comforting. Meals are often shared, creating moments of togetherness that go beyond just eating. Sitting down to a local meal, you don't just taste the food, you experience the culture behind it. The flavors are bold but balanced, reflecting the environment they come from. The freshness is unmistakable, often sourced directly from the surrounding waters. It's a reminder that in this part of the world, simplicity often leads to something truly special. As the day continues, the island reveals more of its character. The mosque stands quietly at the center, its presence a reflection of the community's values and beliefs. Calls to prayer echo softly, blending with the natural sounds of the island, creating a moment of pause and reflection. Time feels different here. Not slower in a way that feels empty, but slower in a way that feels intentional. Each moment has space, allowing you to notice things you might otherwise overlook. The way the light filters through the palm leaves, the sound of footsteps on sand, the gentle movement of the ocean just beyond the houses. There's a balance here that feels rare. A balance between work and rest, between tradition and change, between simplicity and meaning. As afternoon turns to evening, the island begins to quiet. The heat softens, and people gather outside once again. Conversations continue, children play, and the atmosphere becomes even more relaxed. There's no need for entertainment, no need for distraction. The presence of community is enough. Watching the sunset from a local island feels different than from a resort. It's less about the view and more about the shared experience. People pause, even if just for a moment, to take in the changing colors of the sky. It's not a performance, it's a part of daily life, and that's what makes it powerful. As night falls, the island settles into a gentle calm. Lights glow softly from within homes, illuminating small sections of the sandy paths. The ocean remains close, its steady sound continuing into the darkness. The sky, once again, fills with stars, clear and uninterrupted. Standing there, surrounded by this quiet, grounded way of life, something becomes clear. The Maldives is not just one experience, it's many. The luxury, the beauty, the exclusivity, they are only one side of the story. The other side is found here, in the everyday lives of the people who call these islands home. And in that contrast, there's a deeper understanding. Because to truly know a place, you have to see more than its surface. You have to feel its rhythm, understand its culture, and connect with the people who give it life. And in the Maldives, that connection is found not just in the places you visit, but in the lives that quietly unfold within them. What if the most unforgettable moment in the Maldives doesn't happen during the day, but in that quiet transition between light and darkness, when the sky begins to change and time seems to pause? Sunset here is not just something you watch. It's something you feel, slowly unfolding, drawing you into a moment that feels almost timeless. As the afternoon begins to fade, the energy of the island softens. The bright blues of the ocean begin to mellow, shifting into deeper, richer tones. The sun, once high and intense, lowers gently toward the horizon, casting longer shadows across the sand and water. There's no sudden change, no dramatic shift, just a gradual transformation that invites you to slow down and pay attention. You find yourself drawn toward the shoreline, not because you have to be there, but because something about the light calls you. The air feels different now, cooler, softer, carrying a quiet calm that wasn't there before. The breeze moves gently across the water, creating small ripples that catch the fading sunlight, scattering it in every direction. And then, it begins. The sky, once a clear blue, starts to blend with shades of gold. At first, it's subtle, a hint of warmth near the horizon. But with each passing moment, the colors deepen. Gold turns to amber, amber to soft orange, and soon, streaks of pink and violet begin to appear, stretching across the sky like brushstrokes on a canvas. The ocean reflects it all. Every color, every shift, mirrored perfectly on the surface of the water. The line between sky and sea begins to blur, creating a sense of endlessness that feels almost unreal. You stand there, watching, but also feeling something deeper, because sunset in the Maldives is not just visual, it's emotional. The sounds around you become softer, more defined. The gentle rhythm of waves reaching the shore, the distant call of seabirds returning home, the rustle of palm leaves moving in the breeze. Everything seems to align with the moment. People nearby begin to quiet down, as if instinctively understanding that this is a time for stillness. Conversations fade, movements slow, and for a brief period, the entire island seems to pause. And in that pause, the beauty becomes even more powerful. The sun now sits just above the horizon, glowing in deep shades of orange and red. Its reflection stretches across the water, forming a path of light that leads directly to it. It's a simple image, yet impossible to look away from. Seconds feel longer, moments stretch. You become aware of every detail. The warmth of the air against your skin, the softness of the sand beneath your feet, the way the light touches everything around you, transforming even the smallest elements into something extraordinary. As the sun begins its final descent, the colors intensify. The sky burns with deep oranges and fiery reds, while hints of purple and pink spread outward, creating layers of color that seem to shift with every breath. The ocean absorbs it all, holding on to the light just a little longer before it begins to fade. And then, the sun disappears, slowly, gently, slipping beneath the horizon until it's gone. But the moment doesn't end there. In many ways, this is when it becomes even more beautiful. The sky remains alive with color, softer now, more delicate. Pastels replace intensity. The ocean darkens slightly, reflecting the fading light in quieter tones. It's a transition, a gentle movement from day into night that feels almost seamless. You stay a little longer, not because you're waiting for something, but because you don't want the moment to end. Around you, lights begin to appear. Soft glows from villas, pathways, and distant boats create a new atmosphere, one that feels calm and intimate. The sky deepens into a rich blue, and one by one, stars begin to emerge, faint at first, then brighter as the last light disappears. The ocean, now darker, continues its steady rhythm, unchanged, constant. And in that quiet, something settles within you, a sense of peace that doesn't come from doing anything, but from simply being present. Because in the Maldives, sunset is not just an event, it's a reminder to slow down, to notice, to appreciate moments that pass quickly, yet leave a lasting impression. It's a moment where nothing is required of you. No plans, no expectations, just the experience of watching the world change, one color at a time. And as night fully takes over, and the last traces of light fade into darkness, you realize something simple, yet powerful. Some of the most beautiful moments in life don't last long, but they stay with you forever. What if the most unforgettable moments in the Maldives aren't found in the places everyone talks about, but in the experiences that feel almost unreal? Like stepping into a world that exists just for a brief moment, then disappears again? Beyond the villas, beyond the beaches, there are hidden fragments of paradise scattered across the ocean, waiting quietly to be discovered. Far from the main islands, the boat cuts through the open water, leaving behind a soft trail that quickly fades into the endless blue. There is no land in sight, no sign of anything ahead, just the horizon stretching in every direction, uninterrupted and vast. And then, slowly, something appears. A thin line of white in the distance. As you move closer, it becomes clearer. A sandbank, a small, temporary island formed by shifting tides, surrounded completely by water. No trees, no buildings, no permanent structure, just a narrow stretch of soft white sand, rising gently from the ocean like something imagined. Stepping onto it feels surreal. The sand is warm beneath your feet, untouched and perfectly smooth. The ocean surrounds you in every direction, its colors shifting from pale turquoise near the shore to deep blue further out. There is no boundary here, no separation, just openness. Standing in the center, you turn slowly, taking it all in. There's nothing to block the view, nothing to distract the eye. It's a rare kind of isolation, not empty, but freeing. A moment where the world feels distant, almost irrelevant. Time seems to pause. There are no sounds except the soft movement of water, gently brushing against the edges of the sandbank. The breeze moves lightly across the surface, carrying with it a sense of calm that feels deeper than silence. And then, just as quietly as it appeared, you leave it behind. Because in the Maldives, some experiences are meant to be temporary, and that's what makes them unforgettable. Back on the water, the journey continues. The ocean here is alive in ways that aren't always visible at first. You scan the surface, watching, waiting, and then suddenly, movement. A shape breaks through the water. Then another. Dolphins. They appear effortlessly, gliding alongside the boat, their movements smooth and playful. There's an energy to them, a sense of curiosity. They rise and fall with the waves, occasionally leaping into the air before disappearing beneath the surface again. It's not something that feels staged or controlled. It's natural, unpredictable, and that's what makes it special. For a few moments, you are part of their world, moving alongside them, sharing the same space. There's no barrier, no separation, just a quiet connection that exists without words. As the boat slows, the dolphins gradually drift away, returning to the open ocean, leaving behind only ripples that quickly fade. But the feeling stays. The sense of having witnessed something real, something unscripted. The journey continues toward another hidden experience, a private island. Unlike the sandbank, this one holds a bit more presence. A few palm trees, soft patches of shade, and a stretch of untouched beach that feels entirely your own. There are no crowds, no noise, no signs of interruption, just space. You step onto the shore, and immediately, the stillness surrounds you. It's different from the resort islands. More raw, more natural. The sand carries the marks of the tide, small patterns left behind by the movement of water. The trees sway gently, their leaves catching the light in soft flashes. The ocean here feels closer, more present, as if it's wrapping itself around the island. You walk slowly, exploring without direction. There's no need for a plan, no path to follow. Every step leads to something simple, yet meaningful. A quiet spot to sit, a perfect view of the horizon, a moment where everything feels balanced and complete. As the day moves forward, the light begins to shift once again. The colors soften, the shadows lengthen, and the entire island takes on a warmer tone. It's the kind of place where time doesn't feel measured, where moments stretch, blending into each other without urgency. And in that stillness, you begin to understand something. The Maldives is not just about where you stay. It's about what you experience, the unexpected, the unplanned, the moments that don't appear on schedules or itineraries. The feeling of standing on a piece of land that may not exist tomorrow. The quiet excitement of seeing dolphins appear without warning. The calm of being alone on an island, surrounded by nothing but nature. These are the moments that define the journey. As the sun begins to lower once again, casting golden light across the water, the boat prepares to return. You take one last look at the island, at the endless ocean surrounding it, at the simplicity of a place untouched by time. And then, slowly, it fades into the distance. But something stays with you, a memory, not just of what you saw, but of how it felt. Because in the Maldives, the most powerful experiences are not always the ones you expect. They are the ones that appear quietly, exist briefly, and leave a lasting impression long after they're gone. What if the taste of a place could tell its entire story, not through complexity, but through simplicity, freshness, and the quiet connection between land and sea? In the Maldives, food is not just something you eat, it's something you experience, something that reflects the rhythm of island life, shaped by the ocean and shared through moments that feel personal and real. The day often begins gently, with a breakfast that feels as calm as the surroundings. Seated by the water, the early light reflecting off the lagoon, everything feels unhurried. Fresh tropical fruits are placed before you, vibrant in color, sweet and refreshing. Mango, papaya, pineapple, each bite carrying the warmth of the island itself. There's something different about food here. It doesn't feel processed or distant. It feels alive. Freshly baked bread, still warm, paired with simple spreads. Eggs prepared just the way you like, but served in a setting that transforms even the most familiar flavors into something memorable. Coffee rises in soft steam, blending with the cool morning air, creating a moment that feels complete in its simplicity. But as the day unfolds, the culinary experience begins to deepen. The Maldives is surrounded by one of the richest marine environments in the world, and that connection is reflected in its cuisine. Seafood is not just common, it's essential. Caught fresh, often the same day, it carries a flavor that feels clean, natural, and deeply satisfying. Grilled fish, lightly seasoned, allowing its true taste to stand out. Tuna, a staple in Maldivian cooking, prepared in different ways, each one highlighting a different aspect of its texture and richness. Coconut, another key ingredient, adds a subtle sweetness, balancing flavors without overpowering them. Lunch becomes more than just a meal. It becomes a pause, a moment to sit, to breathe, to take in the surroundings while enjoying food that feels both simple and carefully prepared. Whether it's served on a shaded terrace or directly on the sand, the setting always plays a role, enhancing the experience without drawing attention away from it. And then there's the local cuisine, dishes that carry generations of tradition, passed down quietly, unchanged in their essence. Mashuni, a mixture of tuna, coconut, onion, and chili, served with flatbread, offers a perfect balance of flavor and texture. It's not complicated, but it's deeply satisfying, a reflection of the island's identity. Curries, rich but not overwhelming, combine spices with coconut milk to create layers of flavor that unfold slowly. Each bite reveals something new, a subtle shift in taste that keeps you engaged without ever feeling heavy. Eating local food feels different. It connects you to the place, to the people who have lived here, who have shaped these flavors over time, who understand how to create something meaningful from what the island provides. As evening approaches, dining takes on a more intimate tone. The light softens, the air cools, and the atmosphere becomes quieter, more reflective. Tables are set along the beach, close enough to the water that you can hear every wave as it reaches the shore. Candles flicker gently, their light dancing with the movement of the breeze. Dinner in the Maldives is not rushed. Courses arrive slowly, giving you time to fully experience each one. The focus is not just on taste, but on the moment itself. Conversations become softer, more thoughtful. The surroundings fade slightly, allowing the experience to feel more personal. And sometimes, the setting becomes something truly extraordinary. Dining beneath the ocean surface, in a space surrounded entirely by water. Glass walls reveal the underwater world. Fish moving silently around you, their presence adding a quiet sense of wonder to the experience. It's unlike anything else. Eating here feels almost surreal, as if you've stepped into a different dimension, where the boundaries between worlds no longer exist. But even in these moments of uniqueness, the essence remains the same. Simplicity, freshness, connection. Because in the Maldives, food is not about excess or complexity. It's about balance, about allowing natural ingredients to speak for themselves, supported by techniques that enhance rather than transform. It's about creating an experience where taste, setting, and emotion come together in a way that feels effortless. As the night deepens and the last course is finished, there's a sense of quiet satisfaction, not just from the food itself, but from everything surrounding it. The sound of the ocean, steady and calming, the soft glow of lights reflecting on the water, the feeling of being present, fully aware of the moment, without distraction. And in that moment, something becomes clear. The flavors of the Maldives are not just something you remember. They stay with you, not because they are overwhelming, but because they are honest, real, connected to a place that values simplicity and meaning over anything else. Because here, every meal is more than just food. It's a reflection of the island itself. Calm, beautiful, and quietly unforgettable. What if the final, most unforgettable moments in the Maldives weren't found in a specific place, but in the combination of everything you've experienced, the sights, the sounds, the flavors, the light, the water, and the quiet moments that linger in memory long after they happen? To truly understand this place, you don't just look at it, you feel it, in a way that goes deeper than vision, deeper than sound. You feel it in the rhythm of life itself. The morning begins slowly, softly, with the sun barely above the horizon. The sky is painted in pale shades of pink and gold, reflecting across the lagoon like a mirror. The water is calm, almost unnaturally so, inviting you to step in, to move with it, to become part of its gentle rhythm. Every ripple seems intentional, every wave, a quiet statement of presence. Walking along the soft sand, you notice how the island itself seems alive. Tiny shells dot the shore, each carrying the memory of the ocean that brought it here. Footprints mark the sand, evidence of movement, yet the space feels untouched, almost sacred. The breeze carries a mixture of salt and warmth, grounding you fully in this moment. From the water, the island appears entirely different. The trees, the sand, the ocean, all merge into a single panorama, alive with color and light. It's a view that photographs can't capture, a feeling that words can't fully convey. You are present, fully, in a place that exists in perfect harmony with itself. And then, the day begins to unfold in layers. Boats glide past, their wakes creating gentle arcs across the water. Fishermen cast nets with practiced precision, their movements blending rhythmically with the ocean. Local children play along the shore, their laughter drifting across the air like notes of music. It's a world in motion, yet nothing feels hurried, nothing feels forced. Snorkeling reveals another hidden dimension. Beneath the surface, coral reefs stretch endlessly, intricate and colorful. Fish of every imaginable hue move in sync, creating a living mosaic. Sea turtles glide lazily, manta rays sweep through the depths with effortless grace. The ocean here is not just a backdrop, it is a stage for life, a dynamic, breathing world that continues endlessly below the surface. Back on land, the resort experiences mingle with these natural rhythms. Private villas offer views that blur the line between indoors and outdoors. Infinity pools, stretching seamlessly into the horizon. Meals are prepared with the freshest ingredients, each bite connecting you to the land and sea. There is comfort in knowing that nothing is hurried here, that each experience has been designed to exist perfectly in its own time. And yet, the true magic begins when the light changes. Sunset, the grand finale of the day, transforms everything. The sky becomes a canvas of gold, amber, and fiery orange, mirrored perfectly by the lagoon. The sun dips slowly, its reflection stretching across the water, creating a path that seems to lead directly to infinity. The breeze softens, the waves slow, and the entire world seems to pause in quiet reverence. Evening deepens, and stars emerge, clear and countless against the darkening sky. The ocean becomes a shadowed expanse, punctuated only by the flicker of lights from distant islands or villas. There is a silence here that is not empty, it is full, rich with the memory of the day and the anticipation of the night. As night settles completely, the experience continues in subtler ways. Gentle lights illuminate pathways, guiding your movement without intruding. The sound of water remains constant, steady, almost meditative. Fireflies dance in shaded areas, unnoticed by many, yet adding their quiet beauty to the scene. There is a sense of intimacy, of connection to a place that exists beyond the ordinary. And here, in this combination of elements, light, water, sound, life, and quiet, you understand the essence of the Maldives. It is not a single destination or activity. It is the sum of moments, each one designed to align with the rhythm of nature and the human desire for presence. Each sunrise, each dive, each shared meal, each quiet walk along the sand contributes to something larger, a feeling of completeness, of being fully alive in a world untouched by the ordinary. The Maldives is a reminder that beauty exists in layers, above the water, below the water, in human connections, in nature's patterns, in the transition from day to night. It is fleeting, yet enduring, personal, yet universal. As the final night descends and the stars settle fully across the sky, you realize that leaving this place will not mean leaving it behind. Every memory, every feeling, every quiet moment will stay with you. The rhythm of the ocean, the warmth of the sun, the colors of the sky, the dance of marine life, and the intimacy of untouched beaches, they become part of your own internal landscape. And in that understanding, the Maldives becomes more than a destination. It becomes a feeling, a story, a memory that will quietly shape the way you see the world, reminding you that beauty, in its purest form, is not only observed, it is experienced deeply, fully, and endlessly. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.